My name is Scottie Sigmon. I've been in and around automotive for, I guess now, past 10 years, give or take. I was very blessed to become really good friends with some coworkers of mine. I was at Hippo Media, and we basically I left, and one of the gentlemen retired, and another gentleman left as well, and we all came together, and it was serendipitous in timing, and we started Hippo Media Group.
All right.
In the car business, there's a couple, kind of derogatory things that people say, like PhD, Papa has dealership.
Yeah.
One of those that kind of stuck out to me was Hippo, highest paid person's opinion.
Okay.
So when we founded Hippo Media Group, we wanted it to be something where we didn't pay attention to people's opinions, right? We used data, facts, and figures to make decisions. And that's a big part of why we partnered ourselves with Orbee, is because it helps us facilitate, how we make our decisions, how we plan for the next month, how we look back, the KPIs that are really important and actually move the metal.
Yeah.
We're not just in automotive. I will say that.
Yeah.
But the great thing with Orbee is, even in the other verticals that we represent, we use Orbee CDP, and we started to use it and y'all's technology to help us. And Orbee is obviously automotive specific, but I think it shows just the breadth and the power behind the system, is that it can be used for so many different applications.
Yeah.
And because automotive is usually a couple years ahead of other verticals, I would say that, we feel really blessed to be able to work with a company like Orbee that's even ahead, we feel, of other CDPs, that gives us a competitive advantage even in those other verticals as well.
Yeah. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
So just for some context, Scottie and Hippo Media Group, they were an early adopter of Orbee's Copilot solution.
Yes, sir.
Early last year. And we launched that because we realized that, like, agencies and dealerships, they have a special relationship most of the time. Like, there's a lot of trust there. And we just ran into either a dealer saying, well, hey, I really love your tech, but can you work with my agency? Because they handle creative and strategy and all that. And sometimes agencies would approach us and say, hey, you have a really interesting automotive-specific software capability. We want to leverage that for our clients. So we launched Copilot, and so you've been an early adopter of that.
100%. Yeah.
I was hoping you could kind of share, like, what are one or two things Orbee kind of helps you with, like, either day-to-day or, like, on a campaign-specific basis?
Yeah.
Something you share.
I'm not going to beat around the bush, right? So we're a boutique agency, which has kind of become synonymous for small. But the clients that we do have, we pay a lot of attention to.
Right.
And we've been really blessed lately. We've been able to work with the people that we want to work with.
Right.
And I think that, and I'll answer this question in a roundabout way, but I think because of that, when we were looking for that CDP partner, for me in my life personally, trust is one of the most important things. I was an SAE in college. I joined that fraternity because I trusted those guys. I became a Freemason because of the trust that I have there. So those things in my life personally, and then now that I have partners, we vetted a bunch of different companies, and for us, the reason that Orbee stuck out was the fact that maybe they didn't have everything worked out, but they were 100%. You guys were 100% transparent in telling us, okay, well, it's not 100% yet, but it's going to be, and here's how we're going to do it, and working with us. And to that effect, because we're able to tap into Orbee, I think this answers your question more than anything else. We're able to be that big agency to other people, right? Oh, you need VLAs. Great. I can facilitate that through Orbee. Obviously, Scottie's not going to sit there and pay attention to your inventory every day and see which cars sell out and do that. We have a plug-in with the AP with Orbee that facilitates that, right? Carousel ads. I mean, all the things that you can do and you can facilitate in many different ways. We can put on autopilot and utilize the tools that Orbee has that really, I think, helps us more than it helps you, right? But then from a creative standpoint, whenever that client needs a creative, we're there to inject it right into Orbee's system and platform, and that's where the Copilot comes from. These dealers, they hire an agency for a reason. And in a lot of cases, we're a fractional CMO, so being able to be in there and utilize the platform like a marketing officer at the dealership would is very beneficial. I think that's the best way to utilize the Copilot program. But to extend even further, Orbee's been amazing for us in the way that we have a dedicated team, and we have 2 or 3 people that I can reach out to, almost like they're an extension of my team at Hippo, and say, hey, can you help me get this done? We have a Slack channel that we mesh with, and it's amazing how they're such a partner more than anything else.
Yeah, I've been saying this for a while, and the evolution of marketing, how it's gotten very data-driven, technology-driven. There's a lot of automation. Now AI is being thrown into the conversation. You start to lose a lot of the human factor. But I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing, because like you said, you can put, using some of Orbee's technology, you can put some of that stuff on autopilot. You got an inventory feed set up. You worked out what the budget is. That's the human side, working out the budget and allocation. Let that run so that you as the agency, the fractional CMO, can really spend time analyzing a challenge or what the dealership's goals are, focusing on the more creative side of marketing. Because I went to school for design, so I appreciate good ads and billboards and slogans and taglines, and I never want that stuff to die for marketing.
Right.
So I'm really excited about this solution so that people can put some of that stuff on autopilot, let the technology do what it can do, and you can focus on what you do best.
100%. And we have a lot of fun with our marketing.
Oh yeah, I just gave me a freaking say it for the camera.
All right, yeah. Okay, so this is something we do, but it's got a handout. We got what's the difference between a Hippo and a Zippo? Because obviously our company's called Hippo. Well, Hippo's really heavy, a Zippo's a little lighter. Freaking, we put our logo on it, right?
I love.
So there's a lot of fun things that we can do. We have a lot of fun in the creative. We have a client right now that we've created a snail character for, Slimy, this sleazy snails person, but he's also really slow, right? Because I think we can all agree that buying a car in the car business is it's a terrible process, right?
Yeah.
You shouldn't have a better experience buying this
Yeah.
than you do a car,
Right.
but a lot of people do.
Yeah.
And I think obviously a lot of people have come to and tried to innovate buying a car.
Yeah.
But ultimately being able to put that message across and saying like, hey, we're different. Here's how we're going to help you get in and out of the dealership in a quick and effective manner.
Right.
Is the way to do it. We can get down a bunch of different paths. I mean, the car business is changing, but even in the next 10 or 15 years, even if the big auto groups get even bigger, people still buy from people.
Yeah.
Right. So like how we're able to communicate with people on a one-to-one scale. And then more importantly, from a broad reach perspective, making people laugh, making people, life's just a party, right?
Yeah.
Like, and you want to go to the best party, you want to go to the best experience.
Yeah.
Whoever can convey that in the best way is going to win the business.
Yeah.
And I think dealers have kind of started shying away from that.
Yeah.
But also, I will be the first person to say, cars sell cars.
Yeah.
Right. Like if people, they have the warm and fuzzies, but like they don't anymore. They want a car, they want it for a price. It is what it is. Yeah.
So, yeah. At least for the next few years, with the interest rates being what they are and affordability, like that'll be a focus for sure.
Somebody said something once to me, and I agree with it 100%, which is, it's interesting. And you come to, NADA and you sit down with people and you ask them, why should I buy from your dealership? Why should I work for you? They very rarely say price.
Right.
Right. Like even if you go to a vendor here, or even if you came to me, like I'm not going to be sitting here, because usually, and my business partner, Gene says this a lot, that which is cheap is not so good, and that which is not, that which is good is not so cheap.
Oh yeah.
Right? But like nobody talks about price. They talk about, we're family owned, or we've got this many dealers and we can service. This is what we can do to differentiate ourselves from the competition.
Yeah.
Or even in this podcast, right? Yeah. Here's how Orbee's different than the other providers. Yeah. But then you go to 90% of dealers, websites, television ads, radio ads, Facebook, and it's just the car and the price or the lease offer.
Yeah.
And that's just been so intriguing to me over the years.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how the dealers that win focus on other things.
They focus on not just price, like you're saying.
Right.
Brand.
Correct.
Brand. And that's what I will believe for a long time.
Hippos on Zippos, man.
Hippos on Zippos. You need an agency or a partner or someone that's dedicated at your organization to focus on that brand.
Yes.
Because it's, dealerships are busy. Like I get it. So you need a partner that can help you communicate, like, what's your brand, what's your value, how can we let it, like, shout it from the rooftops, like, how do we promote that?
And let's just have fun, man.
Yeah.
And people, they just get so damn serious all the time. Like, let's have fun. We're in the car business. I mean,
Absolutely.
I love everything there is to love about the car business.
Yeah.
I love. A lot of people I don't know this about me, but like I worked in the car deal. I've sold cars. I've been, I've been through a dealership, right?
Yeah.
And I loved that. I loved getting into the dealership early in the morning. The smell of the tires on the showroom floor as they just gotten shined. Like, there's a nostalgia about this business.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to make a better movie, a better TV show. I think there's a lot of emotion, right? You learn whether, like, what a man or woman's made of in the last, quarter or months of the year. Like, there's a lot of things that play into this business. And then even from a marketing perspective, we were saying this earlier before the cameras turned on, I think the car business is always definitely year to 2 years ahead of other verticals, it seems like, for innovation and how to digitally target consumers to move the metal.
Yeah.
But I think that makes us so excited to be here and stay in this space, is just always know what the next thing is.
I agree.
And what is the next thing? I mean, like, the CDP that you have, if you don't have a CDP, you've already lost. Like first party data, like a year ago, we were like ahead of the curve. The curve's caught up.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't make a decision now, you are getting left behind.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
You're getting left behind.
Yeah.
You're not going to be efficient in your ad spend. There's so many reasons, and I'm glad we can sit down, have a conversation like this, and let people kind of understand a little bit better. Like, okay, what can I actually accomplish with Orbee or with an agency that is using software like Orbee?
And I think people watching this, they might feel like what I'm saying is canned, or I got paid to say some of these things, or here's the one-liners, but I can assure you I didn't.
Yeah.
And I truthfully care about helping Orbee because they help me.
Right.
And we're a true partnership. And I can't tell you how many vendors, or I think dealers feel this all the time, where it's so one-sided.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And I think I truthfully, if you're considering, a CDP, don't look any farther. Yeah, I mean, I really don't.
I appreciate that, Scottie.
Yeah, man.
We'll wrap this up because they got a marching band coming. So thanks for stopping by.
Yes, sir.